Hey you guys, today I'm talking about Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta season 6, I believe. Wait, 5. Season 5, episode 2. I don't have no notes. I'm just gonna talk about this ratchet fucking show. Like, oh my god, I got to watch it early today with everybody on the East Coast and all that kind of stuff, so I was excited. But it started off where it left off, where Tiara, is that her? Yeah, Tiara was walking up into the club with Jessica Dimepiece. So she sits down, with the ladies, and they're just talking, and she's telling the girls that she only be the bottle girl 2 days out the week, and she works for this firm and this, I think she said financial firm or whatever. So Tommy just starts going in about when do you have time to be a mother? And Tiara looking like, bitch, like, why are you coming at me like that? Kind of thing, like, bitch, don't come at me about being a mom. And I think that's where you fuck up at. I don't care who you are. Once you start questioning a person's motherhood or fatherhood and they know that they've been doing what they got to do for their kids, bitch, that all bets off. So they kind of, Cardi was like, why y'all got beef or something? And I'm sitting there like, bitch, shut up. So, Tiara was like, I don't have no beef. There shouldn't even be no beef. I don't even know why she coming at me like, my son. And she was like, I do know your son. And she was like, how you know my son? And she was like, because I know your baby daddy. And you know how I know your baby daddy? Because I sit on his face every night. And I'm sitting there like, childish as fuck. This is the type of bitches I don't like. There was a way better way to have that fucking conversation with this girl than coming at her like that. For real, for real. I don't give a fuck, bitch. That's when you know a bitch is very insecure in herself. Because this lady, KK, and told you that your boyfriend might be fucking back around with his baby mama. Instead of you coming at her like a grown ass woman and say, look, I know who your baby daddy is. Are you guys still sleeping together? Because I'm dating him also, and I think he's lying to both of us. Bitches get way more answers like that than to be dumb as fuck and say you've been sitting on her baby daddy face every night. She was like, nuh-uh, because my baby daddy wouldn't fuck with a bitch like you. I said, apparently so. Bitches need to stop throwing that word out too. My man wouldn't fuck with you. Bitch, if she got a coochie, yes he will. I'm just saying. Like, it's always like that. It's always the dudes would sleep with the woman that you would never think that he's sleeping with. I'm just saying. So I just felt like that was a dumbass thing of no, he not sleeping with you. No, bitch. She got a coochie. It works. You dude's the dog. I'm just saying. So they still arguing or whatever. Next thing you know, Tiara threw a drink at her. Next thing you know, they start fighting. And I think old girl, the crazy bitch, had got a better hand on Tiara. Tommy did. I think because she was like, help me up, get her off of me or some shit she was saying. So then they break them up or whatever and send them home. And Mimi is over there talking about, they're like tripping about who was fighting or whatever, because I forgot it was Chris's party. That had got down fast. So they tripping about who was fighting. Oh, and they came with Carly and Jessica, and you knew if anything happened to do with Carly, then it was going to be something. I'm like, yeah, granted, Carly invited both of these bitches to the party. But that was all Tommy right there. Because not even Cardi saw that fucking shit coming. But hey, you can blame her because she kind of knew what Tommy, intentions were or whatever. So I guess that's gonna be their way to go at Cardi. What else happened? Like I said, I don't have no notes. This whole thing with Rashida and Kirk, I don't give two flying fucks about. They moved out their old house. They waiting on their new house. So now they have to stay into the bachelor pad that he had bought to go fuck old girl last season. Well, The girl that ended up being a lesbian, my bad. But I'm just saying. But they moved in there. Then they started talking about the whole thing with Mama D and Scrappy. Kirk saw it on surveillance, so now he felt like he needs to go talk to Scrappy about this situation. So he goes and talks to Scrappy or whatever. First, because it's hard to just do it like out of sync because so much stuff was going on. But what's his name? Scrappy and Jock end up going to a radio show to do an interview, and they was asking them about their love life and who he with and who he not with, and this new chick he been seen with. I didn't give a fuck. So then he said he was doing this modeling casting thing, so he had that, and Kurt ended up going to check, called himself going to check Scrappy about Mama D. Mama D was there, and he kind of brought it up to them or whatever, and him and Scrappy kind of going at it back and forth about it. And just, that shit was funny because Mama D don't give two flying fucks because she was talking about she was going to put some paws on him. I'm like, okay, Mama D. But, but before they was talking, Jock flirting with the damn assistant girl, I didn't give two fucks about either. I just be like, I can't take this girl serious as a assistant. Especially, like, they always say, your first, impressions are everything, and the first impressions I got of her, I was like, okay. So maybe she can change, but you fucking with Jock, I don't see it. But like I said, Kurt ended up confronting Scrappy about the whole court. Mama D coming. He said he didn't send his mama. He told his mama don't go. So then they start talking about the whole court situation. And I'm so on Scrappy's side because it only took, if we that motherfucking cool, or whatever, it only took a phone call for you to say that y'all wasn't gonna be there. It only took a phone call, text message, Instagram, Snapchat, I don't know. But he was talking about Rashida is Erica's friend, but I'm like, see, this is why you don't it's hard to put loyalty in the people, because I could have swore she was talking about Scrappy was her brother, and they've been knowing each other for a long time, and that's how she met Erica. I don't know. So that kind of just showed you who she thinks the child should be with, and where her loyalty lies, and you know how they get down. So, but I thought that was real fucked up for them not to even call them and say, hey, we not going to be there. We don't want to get it. Even when he asked, I think when he asked them, they should have said they didn't want to get involved. And he said if it wasn't for Miss Deb, then it would have went left. And I'm like, that's kind of fucked up. Who else is in this goddamn scene? Because I'm going to wait on somebody. KK and Tommy, they talk. And KK can't stand Tiara. And I understand why. I thought it was all over a stupid ass dog. Because the way they was putting it last week was like she don't like her over a dog. But apparently she said when all of this stuff happened, because goddamn, last week we didn't know who the fuck they were. The next day, it seemed like all they shit came out about them killing, or they attempted to kill, or whatever, how it happened, Sass's dad. So it was I think it was 4 or 5 sons and mama. She got them to beat the man up, put him in a trunk. Only way they found out is because one of the boys, whoever was taking him to Alabama to dump the damn body, he got pulled over, and the man said he was acting suspicious, so they searched the car and found the dude. But I'm like, so who told on the other brothers? Who told? Because if wasn't nobody else in the motherfucking car, how everybody else get motherfucking caught? Y'all talking about snitches. I'm just saying. Who snitched on the brothers and the mama? I don't know. Y'all leave it in the comment section if y'all know. I didn't have time to do all that goddamn research. So, yeah, they was talking about that or whatever, and she was saying how she don't like Tiara because when she was on the run, Tiara was feeding information to the police, and that's how she got caught. And I'm like, bitch, well, whatever. But I get what she's saying, where she had a problem with Tiara, because, bitch, we don't play that shit in my family either. Snitches get fucked up. I'm just saying. So, I couldn't be mad at that situation, but you never know how the feds and the police was coming at Tiara either. They probably was threatening to take all her kids and stuff like that. So, she like, bitch, you don't like me. I don't too much care for you. So it is what it is. Probably. I'm just saying, like, I don't know the whole story with them, but yeah, bitches in my family would have fucked her up. I'm just saying, bitches, that bitch would even made it to Love and Hip Hop. I'm just saying. But anyway, um, but Tommy tells KK about how she went to the job and all this kind of stuff, and she didn't talk about. I didn't think it was gonna go like, bitch. Yes, you did. Yes, you did, and I still think you fucking foul. Tierra went to Scraps to the studio with him and his brother or whatever it was, and he excused his brother once he saw Tierra in there, and she had her hand was fucked up, and her finger looked like it was broke or whatever. So she comes in there mad like you fucking Tommy, and he like you said he could have lied, but he still was kind of lying. And he told her that yeah he has been dealing with Tommy for a year, and I kind of understand her frustration with him because she said she Googled or whatever, she did her research on Tommy, and come to find out, Tommy has like 32 mugshots, she said. And I'm like, dudes, this is what you want to. Well, look at this mama. Because I would say, I wish my motherfucking son would. I wish my son would bring home a bitch, any of my boys. I wish my daughter would bring home somebody that has 32 mugshots. There is nothing, this bitch will never have no motherfucking good job. She will always be either an Instagram model, some kind of thought, like always in the street life, because this bitch will never have a good legal, like besides Love and Hip Hop, a good paying job with 32 fucking mugshots. Like, bitch, there is no future for you with 32 fucking mugshots. I don't even understand why would a guy be interested? Unless this bitch about to go rob some banks with you, help you sell your dope. Like, I don't understand guys that even want to deal with a bitch with 32 motherfucking mugshots. I don't. But she goes off on him. She hitting on him up in the goddamn thing, about to break her other damn arm. She was in I'm sorry, because I probably would have did the same thing. He would have got took off on. And she was like, you need to fix this. You can't see your son until you fix this. And this is where a lot of people were going off on her on Twitter. And I can understand, because there is a lot of women that feels like when they get mad, they want to take it out on the father and say, oh, you can't see my child. But in this instant, I kind of understand where she was coming from as far as, bitch, you ain't finna have my child around this bitch. Not at all. This bitch is over here acting like she mommy dearest, posting pictures like she mommy and shit. And I don't know this bitch. Like, no, I don't want my baby around her. And I trusted that you was having my motherfucking son. And then all of a sudden, my son is around this hoe. So I kind of understand where she was coming from as far as that situation. But I don't think that women should hold the child over the man's head if he is a good father and he's doing what he have to do. But like I said, if I'm going to be scared that you're going to have my baby around her, especially when you have already had my baby around her and I didn't know about it, I will have a fucking problem with that. I'm sorry. I will really have a fucking problem with this dumb, delusional, bipolar bra that seems like she don't take her medicine. Nothing wrong with bipolar people, but that bitch don't seem like she take her medicine, and there's something wrong with that part. Anyway, moving on with their story. She says that he said, how can he fix this? Once she said she was taking a goddamn boy, he trying to figure out how can he fix this. And she was like, well, you need to tell her about me and all this kind of stuff. And he was like, cool. And then she was like, well, I want to be there. And I'm with her. Like, bitch, I would not trust him to say he gonna do it. Fuck that. Yeah, I gotta be there. So, first of all, I wouldn't be fighting over this dude. Nigga, the bitch told me, she said on his face, nigga, I don't care what you do with her. So, oh, my bad. So then, he goes to Bipolar House. Because that's what I'm going to call this bitch. After that segment, something wrong with this hoe. So he goes to her house and they're talking and about the baby mama and she got attitude and all this kind of bullshit. And I'm like, bitch, if yo had that much of an attitude, he wouldn't even been in your house. But y'all gotta shoot this scene and you know you gotta let me in because Mona on the other side waiting. Um, so they arguing about the girl or whatever. And as soon as she tried to start arguing with him, he was like, man, I ain't got time for this. I'm about to go. You call me later when you straight. And that bitch just went from being hard to baby water. I'm like, what the flying fuck? And but it works. It works with these dumbass dudes that ain't real men. It works because usually dudes don't like to see their girl cry or somebody they care about cry. But in that instant, I'm like, this bitch is dumb. Like, I can't fuck with her. She's a bird. She is a straight fucking bird. I can't. I can't. I can still kind of deal with Tiara. I don't have a problem with Tiara now. That whole snitching shit, bitch, I have to watch you with a side eye because, like I said, I don't know if the police came and threatened you about your kids. But at the same time, that other bird, bitch, I can't. I cannot fuck with that bird. Who else was left? I'm trying to think of. I know I'm about to talk about Mimi, because I know y'all probably said Mimi, but I'm trying to get everybody else out the way. And I think that was. Oh no. But it's all gonna go hand in hand with these motherfuckers. So Mimi is at home with Arian and Chris. And she's packing up her house. She's moving again for the millionth fucking time. Like, this bitch moved every fucking season since this show has been on. Mimi has been moving. I'm just saying. And Arian, I think Arian feeling some kind of way. Arian feeling salty that she ain't getting the fuck Mimi and her storyline ain't her and Mimi. I don't know. But the way Arian was coming at Chris, I kind of was getting it because I was laughing about it. But I was just like, bitch, why do you care? Why do you care? Why do you care who licking on who, fucking on who? But at the same time, I was like, I want this conversation to keep on going because I'm lost. And when I talk about this, I don't want to offend anybody. So if I'm saying something wrong, just leave it in the comment section and be respectful. But bitch, Mimi, I always thought that if you licking on Coochie, and Coochie is licking on you, and there's no dick involved besides the plastic one, you're a lesbian. Wasn't we saying that Bruce was going to be a lesbian if he started messing with women? Woman and woman, you're a lesbian. Like I said, I'm not educated all the way with the LGBTQ community, but I was so fucking lost. Yes, they say they fuck with dildos. Okay, you're still a lesbian. I don't understand this whole situation. Now, Chris is saying that when she was born, she says she identifies herself as male. And since Mimi is female and Chris identified herself as male, then that's a heterosexual relationship. No, bitch, if your coochie's still open, I'm not even trying to be mean, funny, whatever. Your coochie open and she gets down there and lick your coochie, you are a motherfucking woman. You are a lesbian. See, I'm not going to even keep going because I don't want nobody to get offended because I support the LGBT community to the fullest. Shit, my homegirls, my sister, not my twin sister. I don't want y'all to be thinking. But I have a sister that is a lesbian. So, I don't have no problems with nobody. No, whoever you fucking, that's your goddamn business. I just want some clarification on what do you consider lesbian, or maybe somebody in the LGBT community can answer that for me. I just was so fucking lost. And when I was looking on my timeline on Twitter, everybody else was lost too. Even some people that was in the LGBT community was like, huh? I'm just saying. Anyway, moving on from them, because I'm still confused. Um, we got introduced to these two new girls named D. Smith and Betty. I don't give a fuck, because that's a bird too. I don't give a fuck about her either. But D. Smith was in this fashion show. I think it was her fashion show, or she was in a fashion show. I don't remember. But I know she walked. Bambi walked in the fashion show. Mimi, Tammy, and somebody. Oh, Rashida was there. I had to think about it. They were there to support Bambi, and it was a good cause and stuff like that. So they was all happy for her. But they ended up going out to eat afterwards, and then while they were talking, then it kept going back to D. Smith and the Betty girl, because they cool. And come to find out, the Betty girl is fucking scrappy. So she has a problem with Bam, calling Bam a horse, talking about she don't want to get kicked. No, bitch, Bam will sock the fuck out of you. She don't need to kick you, bitch. She will hit you dead in your face with her hand. See, that a bitch like that probably won't show up to the reunion because she knows she gonna get fucked up. First, I just wasn't here for her talking about Bam. I just really wasn't, especially when the dude you fucking with was a bitch ass nigga to be kicking it with you, and then Bam is calling or whatever, and he shows you and say, look who's calling. That's a bitch ass dude. He shouldn't even have said anything to you, even let you know that this other girl was calling him. He should have put his phone on silent and kept it pushing. But a nigga like that is messy as fuck. So he ended up, she fucking scrappy, so she has a problem with her. She also has a problem with Tammy because of Waka's interview on The Breakfast Club talking about Bruce Jenner. He had a lot of flack from that, so ain't no need for me to go in on Waka. Like, I'm the type of person, everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and that's his opinion, whatever. So then D. Smith had met up with Tammy because Tammy wanted to work with D. Smith. She thought she was beautiful and all this kind of stuff, so she really wanted to work with her clothing line. So they met up at Tammy's little store, warehouse, whatever. And so she, they talked about the modeling thing, and then D. Smith told her that, hey, I'm in transition, and she was like, what's that? And I'm like, bitch, stop acting stupid, especially if you just said y'all was talking about motherfucking Bruce Jenner. You know what transition is. So they were talking about that, and then, she still was saying how she wanted to work with D. Smith or whatever. It didn't matter. So D. Smith was like, well, let me bring something up to you that's been bothering me. And then she brought up the whole Waka thing. And Tammy explained that, like, he wasn't coming at the transgender community. He was talking about Bruce being glorified as a transgender, and she had to explain that to her daughter. And so I get, as a parent, you get it. As a parent, you get it because, and I totally get where D. Smith was saying. That's when you have a time to educate your kids so your kids won't go out in the world and start doing the same thing that your husband is doing. But at the same time, kids are very, very impressionable. And I can teach my son and my daughter one thing. I can teach my kids one thing. But when they go out in society and people are telling them that it's wrong and da-da-da-da-da, so when they come to me and say, ew, I have to come at them like, no, it's not an ew. Because sometimes, I'm telling you, one time I popped off on my son. But I had to realize he's still young and he's still not understanding. These kids, I don't even know how it's just automatically in your brain that people be saying that a man and a woman is supposed to be together. Then when they hear outside people saying ew, they thinking that is something bad. So that's what my son was thinking. He saw a guy that was with another guy, and my son was like, ew. So I popped off, not even thinking, hey, this is a little kid and he not understanding. And so I had to really explain to my son, like, people love who they want to love. Women love women. Men love men. Men love men. You know what I'm saying? People love who they want to love. So now they kind of understand. But he still don't fully understand. So I get where Tammy is saying as far as her 10-year-old child. Now my 10-year-old daughter, she kind of understands a little bit better, so she's really not judgmental at all. She feels like everybody loves whoever they want to love. My older boys, they feel like that too. Everybody loves who they, because that's what I instilled in them. Like, you treat people the way they treat you, regardless of who they are. So, but to explain that to a child, it's difficult. It's so difficult, especially when you telling them one thing, then they go outside and society is telling them a whole different thing, so they're confused. So I get where Tammy was coming from. Then Tammy ended up meeting up with D. Smith and the Bird bitch, and that Bird bitch just had a problem from the moment they sat at that fucking thing. They were all sitting there, Tammy thinking everything cool, but they having a conversation, and Tammy even invited them to an event, and they were cool. Everybody was cool, and then this Bird, she gets mad because Tammy mentions Bambi's name, and I'm like, bitch, she don't know you fucking Scrap, and like Bambi is her fucking friend, so I didn't understand. Girl, you just insecure. So then they start talking or whatever, and they start going back and forth because the girl mentions Waka's interview. And they start going back and forth. D. Smith is sitting there looking like, oh my God, here we fucking go. Like, she really didn't want to get into that conversation. And Tammy felt like, bitch, I already explained this to her. Why the fuck do I have to explain anything to you? And I feel you, Tammy. As much as I don't too much care for Tammy, I was on Tammy's side on this one because I felt like, bitch, shut up, Bird. Like, fuck, church somewhere else. That's really how I felt. And so the girl was saying, she just was going off and was talking about Tammy. And, you know, I think it was brought up, like, why was she there? And D. Smith was saying how, she thought that she would be able to model some of Tammy. She thought she would be able to model some of Tammy's clothes. Tammy was like, she was like, nah, I doubt it, no. And Tammy was like, no, because with that cheap shit you got on, and they just start going back and forth about cheap shit, who got on this and who got on that. Next thing you know, I think it was a swing and it went off. And I'm here for it. I'm here for Tammy probably want to go up that table on that bitch. Because I felt like, yeah, she was having to defend her husband, but she had already talked to this girl about that. They squared that away. The girl said she had to think about being her model, and apparently she thought about it, that she met up with her again, so everything was fucking cool. This, like I said, this bitch is just mad because Tammy and Bambi is cool, and she wanna fuck Scrap. That's all that is, and the bitch is dumb. It don't have nothing to do with transgender people. It didn't have nothing at all. I don't really think. I really don't. I could be wrong, but I really don't think all of that frustration was over what Waka said. Especially if your fucking homegirl not tripping about it. Bitch, you just mad because her homegirl is Bambi. Just pure fucking point blank, and I can't wait to see Bambi next week. Because I want Bambi to stump that hoe out. Like, no, because then that would be like attempted murder. Because Bambi, I think, will fuck that little girl up for real. Anyway, that was my review. If I missed something, it probably wasn't that fucking important. But I just want to talk about Mimi because I was confused as fuck. That bird-ass Tommy and that bird-ass whatever that bitch name is. Betty, who, I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all thought about it. I enjoyed this episode, but I just think it's ratchet as fuck. I enjoy Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Whatever. But y'all tell me what y'all thought about it. Follow me on all social media sites by The Ghetto View, THA, not THE. And I will talk to y'all in the next video. Peace. Oh, make sure you're checking out Ashley Miller, Mike B, Color Me Pink, Forest Rocks, Bondi Blue. Make sure you're coming out to the Blackout, June 16th. All that good stuff. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.